Still third on the road, Peter Brock, 05, chasing those two Peter Jackson Falcons. There's Brocky.
Gap has just brought it down to just over 5 seconds, but he's cutting faster laps than the two cars in front of him, only by 3 or 4 tenths of a second. But maybe he went for this harder compound Bridgestone, the second set that he's using here. Maybe it's just showing an edge as the track temperature maybe goes up a fraction or the surface dries out.
Probably what it has hurt him a bit. He's had the durability, but just being such a cold day hasn't given him an even break, and tires obviously not working at their very optimum, and whatever Glenn and Jonesy are on have just given them, he's not that far behind. They don't want to slip back further than that. They've only got 4 laps to go, but he might be getting a false sense of security there. Glenn and Alan Jones could be running just as fast as they need to, but this is the type of guy you don't want in your rearview mirror too clearly. You
can see Rocky's really driving the wheels off this thing. He's using every inch of the track, cutting very clean, very fast laps as he tries to track down these two leading forwards. Lone Holden representative there, John Bow behind him from Johnson. So Brock running alone amongst the forwards at this stage. He's brought it down 4.32 seconds the gap the last time around. So Brock is on a very big charge here. Lap 19 of a 22-lap race. Still got time, Alan?
Well, depending on just how cozy the two in front are doing it, I suspect they are relatively under control. There don't appear to be nothing that seems to be bothering them, and I think if Peter was about 3 car lengths closer, he could be much more of a threat, but he's not in the slipstream now, so he's still got to work very hard to get any advantage there, and to get by 2 of them. He might get by 1 of them if he was on their back bumper car, although he's got the hardest one to get by.
Well, the only difference, I believe, from practice is the Falcons are running the same hard compound tyre that Brock's running, only on the rear they've got a softer front tyre, so maybe that's starting to cost them a little bit. We shall see. The time's still in the 37-second bracket, changes just ducked into the 36s. Brock very, very quick here. He's taking 3 or 4 tenths out of them a lap.
I think time they will beat him at this stage.
Yes, lap 19. Yep. Still, it's a tough call.
So this will be completing 20 with 2 laps to go, and they come across the start-finish line this time around.
Still gassing them up as they come down the straight here at Phillip Island. Seaton will sleep soundly tonight.
Oh, they do sound strong.
Well, these guys have really needed this points haul this week. Glenn Seaton, before they came to Phillip Island, had just 42 points from a 7th in the championship, a most unlikely position. His teammate Alan Jones back in 12th in the championship title chase. So very, very important day for Glenn here.
This will bump them up, and certainly whatever developments they've achieved here, which are visible to anyone watching, they don't lose them. They can take this to Lakeside and hopefully be top contenders there, even though it is the Shell area backyard. Being able to test whatever circuit you've nominated as your test circuit is a tremendous advantage for any team. You've got to have it. The more the practice, the luckier you get. And these blokes have certainly worked hard here, and they've worked hard on their engines to just reach that gap that the Shell team had on them last round at Bathurst.
They head to the top of the hill.
These two are looking very comfortable.
Come around and get the last lap board. The next time, Seaton, who got out by a couple of car lengths a few laps back. There's Larry, who a little moment on the exit to that corner. Tony Longhurst behind him, so the two Castrol boys have done a pretty good job. Larry changing a motor. Tony Longhurst looking super earlier today.
Last lap.
Downhill, listen to them. Glenn Seaton, Alan Jones.
Gap that time down to 3.3 seconds to Brock in 3rd position, but it just looks very much like they're just easing off enough to...
I think they've got it.
Tantalise the Holden boys.
I think Peter's decision was no doubt the best one he could make, or he did make, and just not quite enough time for him to gobble up these leaders like he's done on previous occasions on the harder compound. Look at that, right to the edge of the road. They're still not wasting it. They know who's behind them. They're not feeling too comfortable, I wouldn't think. Imagine.
There's the gap. You can see it. Back to Peter Brock. Has been consistent. These boys have been superb here today.
They will feel very pleased with their developments, mate, because really to translate this onto a Bathurst pattern, they'll be looking at their maps tonight for sure and saying, yes, that will work, that'll work, and that'll work. And just a nice morale booster for a team that hasn't had the best of runs in the first 3 rounds.
We're coming up now to the final corner. And Glenn Seaton, the man who has been fastest at Phillip Island since practice started here on Friday. Alan Jones right behind them. They're coming in for a fast form finish for round 4 of the championship. It's Seaton. Second place to Alan Jones. So a 1-2 to the Peter Jackson team, and Peter Brock a very deserving 3rd place. Wow, that opens the scene up for Lakeside Raceway on Sunday, April 23. Should be quite a war up there. Let's check them out now on our race score, our Shell race score, as Glenn Seaton acknowledges the crowd. Seaton the winner. Alan Jones, his Peter Jackson teammate, finishes in 2nd. Peter Brock 3rd. John Bowe got up to 4th, and Dick Johnson from the back of the field up to 5th. Mark Skate finished in 6th. Larry Perkins, a good job, in 7th. Tony Longhurst, the second of the Castrol entries, in 8th. Wayne Gardner finished 9th, and the privateer Paul Romano rounds out your top 10.